Hello friends, today we will see more about the vectors. We will see what is the importance of the position vectors, how to deal with the problems of position vector. Firstly, we will understand what the position vectors are. Position vector means a vector with respect to origin O. So if I say position vector of P, that is actually meaning vector OP. If I say position vector of Q, that is actually vector OQ. Okay, so if we have to find vector PQ, how we will get in the terms of position vector of P and Q? See, if O is origin, vector OP is like this, vector OQ is like this. If I have to find vector PQ, see, very clearly we have seen in our earlier speech that a vector by triangle law can be represented easily in two vectors. What? We will start from P, central point is O, so vector PO plus OQ. Why? Starting letter is P, ending letter is Q, and where we are ending the first vector, we are starting the second vector from that. Now, we know that vector OP is suppose vector P, okay, and this is vector Q. So we will write this is minus of vector OP because that is PO and that is vector OQ. Now we know that vector OQ is vector Q and vector OP is vector P. So that is vector Q minus vector P. So very easy technique we are developing, that position vector of PQ means position vector of Q minus position vector of P. So I am asking one or two questions. See, if I have to find position vector AB in the terms of position vector of A and B, how will you write? You will write position vector of B minus position vector of A. If I say you have to find CD vectors in terms of position vector of C and D, how will you write? Position vector of D minus position vector of C. So this is very much clear, the basics of position vector. Now you see in the section formula that 2 points are there, P and Q. Points are there means the position vectors of these points are given. Suppose position vector of P is vector P and position vector of Q is vector Q. That means vector OP is vector P and vector OQ is vector Q. And a point is there joining QP which is dividing the joining in M ratio N. Then what is the coordinate of vector R? What is the position vector of vector R? You can write position vector of vector R as vector OR is M vector P plus N vector Q by M plus N very easily, where vector P and vector Q are the position vectors of P and Q and vector OR is actually the position vector of R. So we can easily deal with the position vectors. If two position vectors are given, third vector which is in line with the two vectors dividing it in some ratio can easily be found out. You apply this formula in certain problems, we will be seeing it later on. Now see question number 1, that A is a position vector whose tip is this. Determine the coordinate of the point B such that vector A, B is vector A and A has the coordinate this. Now you see here that vector AB can be represented as position vector of B minus position vector of A. Okay, so position vector of B, we don't know, we just assume that position vector of B be x comma y, so that is xi plus yj. So what is that? Xi plus yj cap minus position vector of A is given. What is that? Minus 1i plus 5j. And vector AB is also given. What is that? That is 1i minus 3j. Now you just equate the I coefficients and the j coefficients, you will easily get x and y. See, here we can combine these two, that is coming out to be x plus 1 I and here y minus 5 j. So on equating, x plus 1 is coming out to be 1 and y minus 5 is coming out to be minus 3. So x is here, x plus 1 is, x is coming out to be 0 and y is coming out to be 2. So the coordinate of B will be 0, 2. We can easily find. Again, I am just briefing this. We just wrote vector AB as position vector of B minus position of vector A. We got value of vector AB. We have assumed the coordinates of point B as x, y. So in vector format, position vector of B will be xi plus yj. That of A we have written. We have just compared the coefficients of x and y and coefficients of I cap and j cap, and we got the value of x and y, which is the position vector of B. See in question number 2, position vector of A is this, B is this and C is this. We have to prove that these 3 points are collinear. So what is actually given? Vector OA is, you can write minus 2i plus j cap. Vector OB you can write as minus 5i minus j cap, and vector OC as 1i cap plus 3j cap. We have to prove the vectors, these points are collinear in same line. Just draw the figure. If A, B, C like this, then only we can say that they are collinear. That means sum of the two lengths AB plus BC is AC, or it can be AB plus AC is BC, that we will see. So firstly we will find the vectors AB, BC and AC. Vector AB you can easily write position vector of B minus position vector of A. So that is what I am just writing here, minus 5i minus j cap minus 2i cap plus j cap, which is coming out to be, this is minus 3i cap and j, it is coming out to be minus j here and minus j, minus 2j cap. This is AB. Same way you find vector BC. So BC will be vector OB, vector OC minus vector OB. Okay. So BC is going to be 6i cap and this is 4j cap. Same way you can find vector AC. What is that? Position vector of C minus position vector of A. So it will come out to be 1 minus 2, that is coming out to be 3i cap, 3 minus 1, that is 2j cap. Now you find the lengths of the vectors. What it's coming out to be? See, vector AB modulus is actually under root minus 3 square plus minus 2 square, that is coming out to be 9 plus 4, that is root under 13. Vector BC modulus can be found out like this, 6 square, that is 36 plus 16, that is coming out to be 52. 52 is 2 root 13. Why? Because 52 can be written as 13 into 4, so 2 root 13. And vector AC, same way, is coming out to be root under 13. You can find AC, 3 square plus 2 square, 9 plus 4, root under 13. Now you see here from this figure, you can say vector BC modulus is actually the sum of AB modulus plus AC. AB modulus plus modulus of vector AC. That means sum of two things is equal to the sum of single thing. So actually it is like this. So BC is equal to AB plus AC. So the vectors are collinear. So we are using the concept of the position vectors to find the vectors and then finding their lengths and proving the given things. Hope you are understanding very basic of the position vectors, and you will find yourself convenient using the position vectors carefully. Thank you.
For useful videos, log on to my channel Santosh Pembi on YouTube or directly go to my website www.mathsonphone.com. Thank you.